getting adjusted, stupid 4% rules, and it's time to get outside. Hey guys, Patrick McNally here, your favorite financial advisor, and I want to welcome you to another episode of the Retirement Lifestyles Podcast. This is where it's all about having the health, wealth, and freedom to live your dream retirement. And here's the deal. If you are retired or you're getting close, this is the show for you. We're going to talk about how to get your money right, how to structure your investments to provide that number one thing you need in retirement, which is income. For over 22 years now, I've helped people just like you plan for an amazing retirement, but what I have found is that when most people get to retirement, they worry. They worry about their income, their health, inflation, the stock market, higher taxes. Well, it's time for the worry to stop, and the best way to make it stop is with a plan. So I'm going to help guide you through this giant maze we call retirement planning. And today on the show, I've got great segments for my health, wealth, and freedom. And it all starts right after this. You've saved, sacrificed, and invested for years. Now you're no longer getting a paycheck from a job. So the big questions for retirement is this. How do you retire with enough income to live the lifestyle you always wanted without the fear of running out of money, going back to work, or becoming a burden on the people you love? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Patrick McNally, and welcome to Retirement Lifestyles. Okay, let's launch into the show today. In my health segment, I want to talk about recovery. And if you've listened to any of the previous shows or, even the live radio show, in our health segment, obviously we want to bring you health tips, fitness tips, things like that, different products that I've been using, things like that. And the last show, I think it was the last show, we talked about, basically listening to your body. If you are sore or extra tired or something like that, listen to your body so you don't ultimately get hurt. Sometimes it's okay to push through things, but sometimes you just really need to listen to your body and take an extra break. Well, today it's kind of in that same vein of recovery, but what I really want to focus on and give you some ideas about are different therapies that you can be doing. And one of my favorite therapies is chiropractic care, and my family and I have used a chiropractor locally here in town, Dr. Todd Royce, owner of Chiropractic First in Northern California. We've been going to him for, over 8 years. We are big believers in chiropractic care. He gets us, back aligned and healthy, and that's why you go to a chiropractor. Now, obviously, you go to a chiropractor for various reasons. For myself personally, very active, do CrossFit, do lots of things like that, play a lot of golf. And so I kind of get out of line. Well, I go see him once a week. He checks me, make sure there's nothing totally crazy going on, and, makes an adjustment, and I get back on my way. And it's just become really part of a lifestyle that is ingrained into all the other things that we do. Not only, he makes us adjust, but we talk about posture techniques, things that we can be doing for the future. A lot of times you see people into retirement, and sometimes they're a little kind of hunched over, their neck is kind of forward, their back is kind of, and a lot of that comes from posture. And so he teaches us ways to, to sit in your chair, your chest is out a little bit and you sit up. Things like if you're sitting at a desk and you work on a computer all day, maybe get your monitor that sits up a little higher so that your eye level, you're not looking down. And even, things like today with our phones. Everybody's got a phone these days, guys, and we're always looking down at them. And so your neck is constantly, looking down. And I don't have this stat in front of me. I probably should have gotten it. But the weight of our head and how much strain that puts on our neck is pretty intense. Like I think I'm totally pulling this number out of thin air, but it's something like this. Like if you lean forward or your head leans forward like an inch, it adds like 10 pounds for like every inch that you look forward or something like that. It's crazy of the amount of strain that is on our necks. And so that's one of the things that, chiropractic can help with is learning how to set your posture and doing things like with your phone. Hold your phone up, not just staring down in your lap. And I see so many people, I mean, I'm guilty of it also, but even like my kids, when they're laying around the house or, sitting on the couch or something, you're looking down all the time. And so things like that you can be doing to, over time, make sure that you're not having to, have something really, really done, surgery or things like that to correct, your neck. So anyway, that's what I want to talk about today is consider looking into chiropractic if you haven't done that. Other things that I like to do, and maybe I could do another episode or a segment later on, but massage, sports therapy, something I'm going to be trying here pretty soon, so I guess this is kind of a preview for you, is something called cupping. I don't know if you guys have heard of that, when they put suction cups on certain areas of your body that are sore, maybe your shoulders or lower back or something like that. And you see these pictures of people, they look like they've got cheetah spots or something all over them. And actually my son has done this. I guess he was kind of the guinea pig. He's playing football, and we took him to kind of this sports therapy guy, and I don't think we even knew he did it, but next thing I know, the kid's got, 10 of these cups all over his back. And then he's got these big, suction cup. They look like bruises. They're not bruises, but it's just where it pulls the blood to that certain area of the body that maybe needs to be worked on a little bit. So I want to see if that works, because I get sore, my lower back especially. So next week or something like that, I'm going to be going in to do some of that. So I'll make sure I do a segment on that as well. And then other things I love, like a jacuzzi and a sauna. So these are all things that I incorporate into my fitness routines, fitness lifestyle, and I think it's something that you should really consider. So check out some chiropractic here. Next, I'm going to head into our wealth segment. Have you ever heard the expression, you only lose when you sell? Well, today on the Wealth Segment, I want to talk about, the markets right now. So this is as of October 2022, and the markets are down, quite a bit. S&P is down over 25%, and, there's a lot of talk about recession, inflation, some of the big buzzwords that we've been hearing. But today I wanted to talk about this thing, you only lose when you sell. And especially in terms of if you're in retirement and you are pulling money from your retirement accounts to live on. And so, yeah, we toss around that saying a lot because a lot of people are freaking out with the markets. But at the end of the day, if you're not touching your account, it is true. You're only going to lose money if you go in and sell while the market is down. So most people, they can kind of grasp that and go, yeah, okay, you're right. Especially if you're working, if you're, you got 20 years to retirement, you should be dumping money into your accounts right now. Not worried about selling or putting into cash or something like that, because if you do sell, that's when you lock in the losses. So, if you study the market's history, the market always comes back. It just takes time. You got to have time in the market. And so this whole thing about, losing when you sell, well, don't sell. Here's the problem, though. If you're in retirement and you need to pull money out of your accounts, you are selling. You're selling shares. If you own mutual funds, ETFs, bond funds, kind of that traditional financial planning that advisors do, maybe it's like the old 60-40 plan where you've got 60% of the account in equity funds, you got 40% in bond funds. Very traditional. That's the kind of planning that's been going on forever. And then you hear about the 4% rule, which is you just pull out 4% of the value of the portfolio each year. You adjust it for inflation, things like that. But when you do that, you need to realize what exactly you're doing. You're selling 4% of the account to get your money out that you need for retirement, for income. You're filling gaps, in your income. You got Social Security, you got all the other things, but you're filling that gap of money that you need. Well, you have to sell parts of the portfolio to get it out. The problem is doing that when the market is down, because it absolutely exponentially adds to your losses. It may not sound like a whole bunch, like, well, I'm down 25, what's another 4? Well, now you're down 29. And let me give you a little bit of math here to kind of hopefully let this sink in. If the S&P right now is down about 25, you need 33% gains just to get back to even now. So what we need, the market, the S&P down as a whole right now is 25%. It needs to earn 33% just to get back the losses, just to get back to even. That's the cruel math of the market. Now, add 4%. Let's say you're not down 25, you're down 29. You go from needing 33% to break even to 43%. Think about that. You need a 43% return on your money just to get your account value back to even. Now, are you going to get that in, say, the next 3 months so that you can get back to even by the beginning of next year and then take another 4% out and hope the market doesn't go down? Probably not. I mean, I hope the market goes up 43% in the next 3 months. That'd be nice. But, what's the likelihood of that? So then come January 1st of next year, you need another 4% income because you got to pay your bills. It's not like you can say, just put a hold on my bills till the market comes back. No, that's not how it works. You have to pull money out continually to pay your bills, no matter what that market's doing. So it's okay when that market's cranking. When your account value's up, you're like, take 4%. The market returned 12 this year. But when the market's down, guys, this is what I call a mathematical death spiral. Because if you do this for 2 or 3 years in a row, if we have a market situation, which I have no crystal ball, I'm not out here trying to speculate what the market's going to do over the next few years. Nobody can accurately do that. But if we have a market that continues to go down for the next 2 or 3 years, and you continue to add on 3 or 4% a year selling to get income out, guys, I don't know if you'll ever make that money back. And that is why I do not condone, I do not like using mutual funds or ETFs or bond funds for retirement income planning. I like to use a dividend portfolio. I like to own the stocks directly. I don't like to own them inside of mutual funds because you have no control over the stock. You have no control of when it gets bought and sold. If you own mutual funds and ETFs, stuff like that, very normal. The fund manager, not your advisor, the fund manager, the person you don't talk to, who's charging you fees, is the one that buys and sells inside of those funds. You have no control over that. But when you own a stock directly, you own a stock outright, and it's a dividend-paying stock, you can literally separate the income, which is the dividend, with the growth or loss of we call that the appreciation of the stock, the ups and downs. You can literally take that income, use it as income, that dividend income, and leave the account alone because in a dividend portfolio, the dividends are based on how many shares you own, not on the price of the stock. So that price of the stock, it changes every minute of every day. It's up and down, up and down, up and down. Every single day, it's like riding a roller coaster. But those dividend payments, they're not guaranteed. You can't say that. These companies can either lower their dividend, raise their dividend, or keep it the same. It's one of those three things. That's what the board of directors do every quarter. They come in and say what they're going to do. But hopefully, if you got good, solid companies with a track record of paying those dividends no matter what their stock price is doing, you can reasonably rest assured that your income is much more consistent, much more predictable, not guaranteed, but much more consistent and predictable, that income continues to come in even when the stock price is down. So even when that market's down 25%, let's say that your dividend yield is 4 or 5%, you can cash in those dividends and leave that portfolio alone and let it continue to come back up and down because you have no control over that anyway. So that is what I recommend to our clients. And if you want more information, you can obviously reach out to us about that. But one of the big words right now is recession. A definition of a recession is 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP. Pretty much believe we're there. We're going to be seeing that come to fruition here over the next quarter. But if you've got concerns about what you could be doing during a recession, I actually have a checklist. I'm going to plug it here real quick. Visit patrickmcnally.com. patrickmcnally.com. Up in the right-hand corner, there's a little button that says checklists. Checklist is free. You can go to that website and download you a free copy. And we're going to be heading into our freedom segment right after this.
Hey guys, pardon the quick interruption. I'll get back to the show in just a minute, but I want to give you the opportunity to get a free copy of my book, Retirement Planning 101, a simple guide to navigating retirement. It's 8 chapters packed with tips and strategies on how to prepare for an awesome retirement. I go through investments, estate planning, Social Security, and more. Simply visit patrickmcnally.com and request a copy. That website again is patrickmcnally.com. Throughout the book, I'm going to explain the importance of planning ahead and focusing on income strategies that are going to set you up for success and lead you to a retirement lifestyle of abundance. I'll also be teaching you about the Retirement Lifestyles Income Plan, my custom financial planning process and investment strategy with the objective of providing inflation-adjusted income for life. This book is packed with all kinds of strategies, and you can get your free copy right now at patrickmcnally.com.
In our freedom segment today, I wanted to talk about, in our area here of Northern California, we're coming out of a summer that had like 110 degrees and 115 degree days. Well, it is starting to cool off now, especially in the mornings. It is beautiful outside. I'm talking like, mid to like mid 60s, low 60s. And then it gradually kind of warms up. Now, obviously, in the afternoon, it's still we're hitting some 90s and stuff. It's the beginning of October when I recorded this. And, but man, if you can get out in the morning, it is gorgeous. So I'm gonna highly encourage you, if you've been, maybe not going outside very much because it's been so stinking hot, now is a great time to consider doing some walking. Go out in the morning, enjoy these cool mornings. Maybe doing some pickleball or playing some golf. Now, I guess my point is now is the time to really get out, get active, and get outside. So that's my encouragement to you. It is getting cooler. The leaves are changing. I'm just saying these mornings are absolutely beautiful. So it's time to get out and enjoy them. And so obviously, that kind of can coincide with the health segment. And oftentimes, when I do it's all about having the health, wealth, and freedom. So I believe if you can keep your health, you're going to keep more of that wealth, which allows you the freedom to do a lot of these things that we talk about. And always we encourage our clients to stay active, keep not only your mind active, but keep your body active, because those are the things you've been wanting to do in retirement. If you want to travel, if you want to hang out with the grandkids more, hang out with the family more, you got to keep up. And just what happens over time, our bodies start to get a little bit slower. But if you can keep the wheel greased, so to speak, I really believe that you're going to be able to live that abundant retirement lifestyle, because health is a huge part of that. And these freedom things that I often talk about, if you want to go on travel, if you want to do travel and go on trips and stuff, a lot of times we hear feedback from our clients like, yeah, we went going through museums and, going up those steps, man, it was kind of tough, and going every single day. And so that's why I encourage you to continually stay active. And right now is just a great time to get back outside and do it. Because I don't know where you are if you listen to this, but where we are, for the last 3 months, even getting up early in the morning was 90 degrees. So it was 3 months of you just don't totally go out and do a whole lot of activity outside for too long. But right now it's gorgeous. So that's my segment for today, guys, for the freedom segment. Encourage you to get out and do that. So next, I want to do a wrap-up action items to implement. After every single show at the end, I want to give you 3 summary items that you can be implementing right away. So here they are. Number 1, I want you to consider a recovery care program. Think about doing some chiropractic. So if this is if you're a part of a gym or you're already working out, you're already doing something very active, this is something that you could add to it. If you're not doing anything right now, yeah, I think a chiropractor could probably help you. Definitely feel good. But really, if you are being active and 2-3 days a week working out, sore, things like that, I really think a chiropractor is somebody you should consider adding on a consistent basis. Maybe that's once a week. Maybe it's just once a month. You go in for that monthly kind of checkup and adjustment, get you back out going, turn the power on, and and then once a month you're doing that. I go once a week. My family and I, all of us, even our kids, we've been doing it for over 8 years. We go once a week, and it's just become part of our lifestyle. Starting with that, and then maybe, even adding later on, maybe some massage and things like that. I'm telling you, it's just you do a lot of these things and you make it part of your lifestyle, your body feels great. So highly encourage you to look into that. Number 2, get a second opinion with how you're investing. Are you invested correctly? And again, going back to that expression, you only lose when you sell. Well, not necessarily. You can compound those losses if you're selling on top of a down market. And that's what a lot of people are doing and in retirement, especially for their income. So I want you to maybe get a second opinion. Consider, not using the 4% rule, because I think that rule is stupid. And stop selling shares to get income. Talk to your advisors, talk to your trusted people today, and figure out a way to hopefully get income without having to do damage to the portfolio long term, because it just takes a whole lot more money to get back those losses. It's the cruel math of the market, guys. A lot of people think just because I'm down 25, I got to get 25. Nope, that's not how it works. You're down 25, you got to get about 33 just to break even. So get a second opinion. Number 3, no more excuses. It is time to get out and enjoy some of these cool mornings. It is perfect outside. Time to get off that couch, enjoy this weather heading into fall, and get active, get outside. So that's the show for today, guys. Thank you so much for listening, and I wish you the best in retirement.
If you got something good out of the show, make sure you rate it, give me a thumbs up, and hit subscribe so you never miss out. Also, share it with your friends. Be sure to find me on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. One more thing before you go. Remember that the information I talk about on this podcast is believed to be factual and up to date, but do not consider it as personalized investment advice and cannot be interpreted as an offer to buy or sell any securities mentioned. You need to visit with a professional advisor, tax, or legal counselor before implementing any of the strategies presented. My firm, Retirement Lifestyles Advisory Group, is registered as an investment advisor, and we only transact business in the states where we're properly registered to do so.